Today we're talking about change, and specifically we're talking about change that involves doing more of something or adding something brand new into our existing routine. Now, you may very well have noticed already, if you had New Year's resolutions, sitting around adding something into your life, into what you do in your day, that maybe that's beginning to feel a little bit difficult or you keep forgetting. So what I wanted to talk about today is what can we do to support ourselves and make that just a little bit easier. So the error that most of us make when we're adding something new is that we go a little bit too big, a little bit too soon. So going to be worth stopping and thinking for yourself, what are you adding in? Are you adding in 5 minutes of something, or are you adding in a whole hour plus a journey there and back? I'm thinking specifically of things like the gym. That's quite a chunk of time, and that's probably going to feel a little bit difficult when it actually comes down to it and the excitement of having joined the gym is beginning to wear off. That's going to start feeling rather heavy and rather tiring. Likewise with changes to what we're eating or changes to what we're doing of any kind. If we go too big too soon, it makes it much more likely that we need lots of energy and lots of willpower to make that happen. And when life inevitably starts to sort of resume its normality, that is going to start to feel too difficult. And we'll often find that we're either too tired or we just don't have the energy to push ourselves forward and make it happen anymore. End of New Year's resolution, we've not managed it yet again. So I want to let you into a little secret here. Small is beautiful when it comes to making change. And being specific and small is even better. So for illustrative purposes, I'm going to talk about apples. Now, for the apple could be any change at all that you want to make that involves adding something into your routine. And you'll note, it's just one apple that I'm talking about here, not a bag of apples. I'm just talking about adding one tiny little thing into a day. So 1 apple a day. You go with whatever your example is. So first up, if I wanted to get better at remembering to eat an extra piece of fruit in a day, because that's what this represents, the first way I can help myself is by actually being very specific about when I'm planning on doing that. Because you might have noticed, and I'm guilty of this too, if it's just an apple a day at some vague time when I remember or feel like it, then it's very easy if in a particular moment I don't feel like it to go, I'll just do that later. I'll have it later. Before you know where you are, the day's gone and you haven't eaten the apple. So much more chance of success if you're very specific about the commitment that you're going to be making. And you're also being sure that 1 apple is a small enough commitment that you're going to be able to push through even if you don't particularly fancy it. And hopefully it feels like a small enough commitment. You go with the equivalent for what you'd like to change. So, best chance of success here is to remember this. Stay small and get specific. My best chance of eating this apple will come if I say I am going to commit to eat 1 apple with my lunch every day from here on in. And to make that nice and easy, I'm going to have the apples right at the front of the fridge. I'm going to leave a note to remind myself on the fridge. And I'm also going to put a note on the kettle because I know that I will boil myself a cup of tea at that time of day too. Then, when I get there, I don't really have to think about it. Everything's nice and easy for me. And actually, even if I don't really want to, even if I'm not really in the mood for that apple, or I just don't fancy cutting it up, and please believe I can really be that disinterested in apples that I can't even face the thought of cutting it up. The commitment itself is relatively small. So small, in fact, that even if I don't want to, I can make it happen anyway. That's the secret. If you go too big, when it comes to it and you don't want to, you're probably not going to be able to power through. But if you make the commitment small enough and specific enough when the time comes, even if you don't want to. Chances are you can make yourself pick up that knife, cut that apple up, and put it on your plate anyway. That is how you can overcome some of the early stage challenges of putting something new into your routine. Keep it small and be very specific about when you're planning on doing it. And when that time comes, don't wait to feel like it. Don't wait to fancy doing it. Just do it anyway. It's a tiny wee step. The exciting thing is that once you get used to the idea that you don't have to feel like it, you can make it happen anyway, you are going to begin to develop your confidence. And even though this might just be 1 apple a day, over a week that's 7 apples more than 0, and over a month it's 30 or 31 apples more than 0. Imagine if that was exercise, or pages of a book that you wanted to read, or anything else that you would like to achieve. It's a small, simple way of ensuring your success. Why not give it a go?